Hi everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of the MTPredictor software program. In today's video I'd like to show you how you can get so much more out of the MTPredictor software program once you become a bit more experienced with the software and as such become what we call an advanced trader. When you first get the software, we teach you to use the STF color, which is this color here, to use it for the larger degree trend direction to then take your trade setups in that direction. Now that's great for an introduction to the software to get you up and running to start with. However, the STF, like all technical analysis indicators, is lagging, therefore it changes its color late, in other words after the turn. You can see here on this 3-minute chart of the ES, this was the low of the day. The ES didn't change its STF color until much later on. As such, you could have been taking these setups here and as you can see there were some losing setups. So on the first sight you'd say, well, actually the software made a 2-hour loss. It's a 2-hour loss because if I place this first analysis on here, you can see that this short trade would not have been stopped out by the time the second triangle came around because it was a double top. So even though you can see 3 triangles, there would only actually be 2 losing trades there. This is why we allow you to place the analysis on the setups. So there you go. So on first sight you may think, okay, that would have been a 2R or 2 losing trades. Let's now step it up a gear and show you what we teach in our training to try and take you to higher levels. The first thing we teach is to use the 15-minute charts. If I go to the 15-minute chart, to place the DPs on our charts to get our larger degree trend direction. Why do we do this? Well, first and foremost, the DPs are what we call leading indicators, so they are on the charts in advance before the market even gets there. So let's have a look at this before yesterday even opened. Yesterday was the 23rd of September, opened there. We'd have come back to the last main pivot low, which was here. We'd have placed our DP on our chart like that, and as you can see it would have been out there in advance, ready and waiting for us. And as you can see, the market came down, just about clipped it before reversing back up. Now a lot of you might say, okay, you've done that now in hindsight. However, in our live trading room yesterday we were showing this very support zone as the area where we thought the market might make a low in real time as the market was declining. In fact, we had this on our charts before the market even got there. That's the power of these DPs. They're on the charts in advance. So that's what we would have set up there, ready and there in advance. So that's the 15-minute support zone. If we now come back to your 3-minute chart, you can see there it is. There's our 15-minute support zone, and the market just about clipped it. It just about clipped it there for larger degree support. So what does that mean? Well, what it means is as the market was coming up here, as the market was rallying, it means that the trend was now up. Can you all see that? It now means the trend was up because the market found support at our large degree support zone. So therefore these short trades were now against what was an otherwise uptrend. So in other words, just by using our 15-minute DP, you'd have been avoiding these 2 losing short trades. Was there anything you could have done to get some advanced trades off that? Well, yes there were, and this is one thing that we looked at in yesterday's webinar as well. As the market came down here, if I right mouse click, you can see that the market made a lovely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A wave 5 is a trend termination pattern, in other words the end of a swing. So if you were a very aggressive trader, you could have looked to buy this blue buy bar at the wave 5 low, coming in at large degree support. Our initial target after a completed 5-wave sequence is the DP from the wave 4. So you come back to this, you place your DP. Again, these are on the chart in advance. This is the cool thing about this. They're ready there before the market gets there. If I just slide it across, you can see that the market did indeed rally from this low here right up into our DP target there. If you'd wanted to develop a long trade around this, let's place the risk reward on. And as you can see, it would have been long 3 contracts for a risk of 2% on a sample $20,000 account. The market had gone up there. You could have then taken a nice 2.7 hour profit at that level there. Remember, we use correct position sizing to keep our initial risk small under control. So there's the first trade the more experienced users among you could have generated, and it was all because you had this larger degree 15-minute support zone on your chart in advance. You were ready for the area that actually nailed the very low of the day on the ES yesterday. Let's now just remove some of this analysis. There. Right, as the market now was rallying up here, what was the pattern in this rally? And very, very interesting. So here we were coming up to this area where we were anticipating this initial rally off this low to end. If we now do exactly the same, right mouse click, Elliott wave intermediate, you can see that this rally was actually also a 5-wave sequence, also stopping at our DP target there. Just as we did before, the target of a completed 5-wave sequence is the DP off the wave 4 low. There we go. So you replace the DP off that wave 4. The market came down to, although being a very choppy decline, the market did come down to this level just before close. So you could have get a trade set up off that red seller's bar there, which actually came in right at that high. The market came down. You could have had another trade on the short side there for a potential 3.7R profit. Okay, I hear you all saying, why would you want to take a short trade here when earlier in the video I said that we were long, or the market was going up from this 15-minute support zone, therefore the larger degree trend was up? Well, if I skip back to the ES chart on the 15-minute chart, look what unfolded at that same high. An automatic TS2 sell setup. If I place the analysis on, that was suggesting that from this area here, the market was likely to then turn around and decline down into new lows based on the 15-minute chart. So can you see how from this 15-minute support zone, the trend was up, into this 15-minute TS2 sell. This reversed the trend to down as the market declined into the low of the day. So therefore the more experienced and aggressive traders could have considered this short trade here, especially as it was the end of a 5-wave sequence, and especially as it was at this DP level from this wave 4 high here. Again, I have to stress that these DP levels are on the chart in advance, so you'd have known that the market was likely to come up into this level and known that this was the area that you'd be looking for a potential reversal even before the market got there. That is the key to this. These levels prepare you in advance to be able to take some action. Then you would have confirmed the wave 5 high with the Elliott wave tool and done your risk reward into what would have been this target here. So hopefully this has been very helpful for you, just to show you that on the initial look at MTPredictor, when you first come in, you could have easily thought, oh, the trend was down, 2 losing trades, couldn't have done a lot at all. This is why we encourage you all to come into our training, where we educate you to take MTPredictor to much higher levels. And can you see how suddenly when you add in the 15-minute DPs, you suddenly get a better idea of the large degree trend direction? And here you can see, look, this nailed the low of the day beautifully for you. Again, this was on the chart in advance before the market even got there. You can then use some of the more advanced tools in our software, for example our Elliott wave tool, and also be able to know what happens when a wave 5 completes. Then do some manual trades using our manual risk reward tool based around the end of a wave 5 low here at our larger degree support zone. Then again stop and reversing at an end of wave 5 here as the market reversed down into the low, which was the close, which was basically right at that DP support zone there. So hopefully this has been a good video to show you more of the advanced tools that are available in the software, that are available to use once you become more experienced with what we teach in our regular training webinars.